Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown just combined for 60 points per game and swept the Indiana Pacers to make their second NBA Finals in only 3 seasons. But was this Game 4 win more about Boston being a complete team, or Indiana being one of the worst defensive teams the NBA has ever seen? Let's find out. To start the game, Boston looked a little shaky, but Tatum would quickly dismiss any of those claims with a beautiful step-back 3 over Miles Turner. This is important because Jayson Tatum would go on to attack Miles Turner all night long whenever he was on the perimeter, backing in his ability to use his speed to create just enough separation. Every player in the starting lineup for Boston has been tremendous, as here Jrue Holiday shows off his two-way capabilities by hitting a step-back 3 over the rookie Shepherd. The Pacers' defense is horrible, but later I'll show you just how bad it really is. But even here, when the Pacers are playing solid defense, the Celtics just continue to make tough shots, as Al Horford makes a cross-court dime to Derek White, who makes a 3 even though Pascal Siakam is able to close out. But it was in transition where the Celtics killed the Pacers, as here, off of a miss, Horford makes an outlet pass to Holiday, and even though Indiana gets numbers back, Jrue stops on a dime and puts in the 3. Getting an offensive contribution like this from Jrue Holiday is truly special, and it makes this Celtics team borderline unstoppable when they're firing on all cylinders. But then a guy that we've all come to know throughout this postseason run, Andrew Nembhard, as he made another one of his patented mid-range jumpers over Al Horford. The defense of Boston truly had the Pacers stunned throughout this series, as here the rookie Shepherd tries his luck against White and has it sent back. The defensive instincts of Derek White is unfair at times, as like Holiday, he knows exactly when to come over to help and force deflections. But then again, it's Jrue Holiday on offense, as here he gets to his favored left hand for a tough hook shot in the lane over the center Isaiah Jackson. But it's off the bench where the Pacers truly can beat teams, as with guys off the bench like McConnell, Toppin and Shepherd, Indiana rarely stop running. But TJ McConnell in particular has gained the respect of the NBA world this postseason, as he put up 11.6 points, 5.1 assists on 49% shooting off the bench, and was a huge contributing factor to the Pacers making as deep of a run as they did. In Game 4, it was his toughness that really stood out, as after this gruesome play with Jaylen Brown, he checked out of the game only for a moment, and then came right back in as he finished the night with 15 points, 5 rebounds and 4 assists, scoring 6 points in his first 2 minutes of the game. Still in the first quarter, the Celtics have a rare defensive blunder, as Tatum gambles on the pass and then wasn't able to recover to Obi Toppin for a warm-up 3. But then, right back the other way, Jayson Tatum makes up for his mistake, as he contorts his body around Doug McDermott and then finishes over Siakam for 2. The Pacers then showed off their number 1 offense with a perfectly executed inbounds play, as Nembhard threads the needle to find Obi Toppin with a height advantage over White for an easy finish. Then more TJ brilliance, losing 3 Celtics defenders before beating the first quarter buzzer with this ridiculous finish over Derek White. To start the second quarter, the Pacers defense makes a crucial error. On this play, the rookie Shepherd tries to communicate with TJ mid-play to switch, something that you should never do, as switching should be second nature, something you don't even have to think about. But of course, TJ doesn't switch, and Shepherd does, leaving a wide open Holiday, who then finds Horford once Turner comes over to help for a warm-up 3. Then off a made basket, the Pacers fail to get back on defense, allowing Peyton Pritchard to make an open transition 3. Then an even worse possession, as Andrew Nembhard gambles to try and get a steal from Tatum, which is fine, but if you're Aaron Nesmith, you also can't gamble, as 3 go to Tatum, giving Derek White a wide open layup. Meanwhile on offense, though, Siakam was chipping away as he made 2 tough buckets to put the Pacers up 3 points, even after the terrible defense. All game long, the Celtics played the game perfectly, keeping themselves within striking range the entire game. And here some great ball movement opens up a wide open driving lane for Jayson Tatum. Then Jayson Tatum shows the world why he's a top 5 player in this league at his best, as Horford sets a pick to lose Nesmith, allowing Tatum to pick up a full head of steam, using an in-and-out dribble to lose Turner for a slam. Then his running mate Jaylen Brown uses a jab step to create enough separation on Turner for a corner pocket 3. Back on offense now for the Pacers, it's Andrew Nembhard, who fakes out Jaylen Brown with this hesitation, but even though Brown is able to recover, Nembhard banks it in off of 1 foot. There's no doubting that this Pacers offense is elite, but this is when the terrible defense of the Indiana Pacers reared its ugly head once again, as here even Jrue Holiday was surprised when nobody went with him even though he had the ball, as Nesmith was expecting a handoff and Siakam gambles even though there's nobody behind him. Then Nembhard off the bounce beats the halftime buzzer with a ridiculously tough shot for 16 first half points. But yet again, it's the defense for the Pacers that killed them all series long, as on this play, Ben Shepherd is guarding Derek White at half court off the ball for no apparent reason, giving Jaylen Brown way too much space to work into for yet again another easy 2. This game was way more about the Pacers' lack of defense than it was the great offense of Boston. But even though things weren't looking good defensively, Indiana still managed to push push the lead out to 12 points in the fourth quarter. And just to show that these horrible defensive lapses by the Pacers were not one-offs, here Nembhard gambles on a pass this far up the court, allowing Jaylen Brown a full head of steam, and yet again Shepherd is guarding Tatum now at half court, but this isn't over. With Siakam in help, Nembhard just needs to force Brown right, but instead he just backpedals, allowing Brown enough space to cash in another three. Then here Jrue Holiday again finds himself wide open as the Pacers fail to get back on defense. The Pacers are so good but yet so bad all at the same time, as here McConnell makes a great pass through a double team for a Siakam 2. Then it's Jaylen Brown who recognizes the size advantage and bullies his way to the basket for 2 more, and then pulls up for a deep 3 to end the third. Then in the fourth, the defense of the Pacers continues to be terrible, as TJ McConnell completely loses Jrue Holiday on this play, who gets yet again another wide open layup. Seriously, when Holiday makes the catch, there isn't another yellow jersey in the paint. Even though Indiana were having possessions like this, they still somehow managed to push it out to an 11-point game with 8:35 remaining in the fourth, as this time it's Siakam who finds McConnell underneath the basket for 2. And then again it's Andrew Nembhard who puts an N1 on Derek White. But then, something that did not surprise anybody, the Boston Celtics came back into this game. Jaylen Brown down the stretch of this game was truly a star, as here he again makes a tough 3 over Turner in the corner. The Celtics managed to cut the lead down to 4 points in only 2 minutes of play, as it almost felt like the Celtics were toying with them for the majority of this game. Nesmith somehow manages to get this to go, and then beats Brown off the dribble for a mid-range shot. But down the stretch of this game, it wasn't just the defense that failed Indiana, but the offense did too. Yet again, it was Tatum who was attacking Miles Turner on the perimeter, as here he makes exactly the same shot he made to begin the game, sidestepping away from Turner, who isn't able to close the gap on JT, leaving him open for 3. Then Andrew Nembhard puts in what he didn't know was going to be his final bucket of the playoffs, with a tough mid-range shot over Al Horford. As from here, the defense of the Boston Celtics was truly remarkable, as in the final 3.5 minutes of the game, the Celtics held Indiana, the best offense in the league, scoreless. But after trailing by 4, Boston were able to tie the game after yet again more defensive breakdowns on the part of the Pacers, as they gave up a wide open dunk to Jayson Tatum and then allowed a step through move by Jaylen Brown for a wide open floater to tie the game. Back the other way now, it's Andrew Nembhard who tries to save the Pacers' season, but it's Jaylen Brown who makes the defensive play of this series, perfectly timing his jump to reject his layup. Then, with the game still tied at 102, it's again Jaylen Brown who dribbles through 4 Pacers defenders to find an open Derek White in the corner, who hits a big-time 3. Derek White made the biggest shot of the night, but his contributions were most felt on the defensive side of the floor, as he was able to come up with 3 blocks and 5 steals, playing an all-round perfect game. The Eastern Conference Finals MVP genuinely could have gone to 4 different Celtics, but the voters decided to go with Jaylen Brown, who averaged 29 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists with 2 steals on 51% shooting over the 4 games in the series. Will Boston finally get that elusive title in the Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown era, or will it yet again be another season that should have been? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.